Donnie.
Yes.
I can't believe you're doing frame offs now.
But it was an accident.
This is the first frame off we've done. He accidentally did a frame off. I don't want to say the word restoration.
It's not a restoration.
Nothing about what we do is going to be considered a restoration.
If you're looking for a restoration, then go down to the bottom there and there's a little off.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go.
This is a frame off repair.
Repair, at best.
One thing I've noticed about these frames that's weird is they are not symmetrical at all. It's the weirdest thing. They look like they're bent, but they're not. It's just the way they curve is different on the driver's side and the passenger side. Now, I thought it was because it had been wrecked, but Donnie has 5 of them here and they're all like that. Crazy. And look at this thing. There's a big flare, like a bend in the frame. That's factory. That's how it's supposed to be. Look, it tried to kill me. All right.
It ain't wet.
So you've pour 15 the frame pretty good. Now there's some spots you missed, Donnie. You didn't do the doghouse there, I think they call that.
I didn't do that because it stays oily, and you know how long it would have took to clean all that oil off.
That's
there?
true. That's true.
That's
why we can't call it a restoration.
I did the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't do top.
All that's going to be fine, people. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it, people. Come on, come on, come on, people. Come on now. All right. So Donnie has taken the front end off of a 71 and put it in this 65 frame.
Yes.
And then he's taken we ain't done the back end.
I ain't done the back
We're going to do the back end. But what are we doing today, Donnie?
We're going to put the motor in it.
We're going to go ahead and put the motor in it. Now, he's just doing this because to him, it's thrilling to be able to put the motor in without having to fight the fenders and all that. We've never had that luxury before.
But you're going to scrape everything up. You're going to bend everything up. You got to have the motor way up here. Just put it in now.
Yep.
And be done with it. If I wait till afterwards, I'm crawling underneath everything, doing everything.
Yep.
If I do it now, I can stand up here and do it.
So we're going to put the motor in. All right, what motor are we talking about, Donnie?
V8.
Did you order one?
No.
Did you pull one out of a junkyard somewhere?
No.
Have you got a motor?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so we're gonna get started putting the motor in. Let's see what we can do. Folks, this is called a chock rock. Not to be confused with a chock block. This is a chock rock. You take a rock and you put it under the wheel, and then the thing can't move. We have it chock rocked where it won't go anywhere. Well, that didn't take long. Apparently he had a motor waiting the whole time. What are we looking at here, Donnie?
350 Chevrolet.
It's a 350 Chevrolet. That's good.
Come out of a car, 77 Chevrolet Caprice.
77 Chevrolet Caprice.
That's 4-speed automatic.
4-speed automatic transmission. Look, she's wiggling a little bit.
There's a few little things we're going to have to do, like we're going to have to cap that line right there somehow.
A few things we're going to have to do, folks.
But she's going to be up and running here in about 15 minutes.
He thinks that we can get it running in just the frame. I don't even see, he's better at this than I am. I don't even see where the battery would go. There's no, you can't put the battery in. And there's no gas tank. He took the gas tank out. It goes inside the cab. I'll show you the gas tank. See, the gas tank's still over in the truck, like in the cab. So I don't know how. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like the gas tank's supposed to be in the truck, and instead, this frame off stuff is weird to me. I mean, I don't understand. All right, Donnie, I believe these are the motor mounts. Now, what do motor mounts do?
They mount the motor.
See, we used to play baseball all the time. That's like the I pitch it to them.
The one bad thing about these, okay? These are actual rubber.
Uh-huh.
So it's rubber impregnated in a piece of metal.
Yes.
Okay? So there's metal that bolts to the engine
Yes.
and rubber that bolts to the frame.
Yes.
See any problem yet?
Yeah, you're going to have to bolt the metal to the engine first.
Yeah. But you got 300 horses pulling on a piece of rubber.
Well, you can chain it down like you did on yours.
That's what you got to do with these. You got to chain them.
He said got to.
You got to chain them down or okay. You
It just
do,
rips the rubber loose.
You can do one of two things. You can chain them down or you can drive them at idle. One or the other.
Yeah. So when you get on it, it goes. Oh, I should do it over here. And if you do that enough, it pulls the motor mount apart. All right, so one of these trucks has a straight six 250 in it, and the motor mount on the 6-cylinder is exactly the same as the motor mount on the 8-cylinder, because that's how they used to design stuff. Pretty cool.
That brackets, they make that bracket up to just make it fit these.
And you know, an interesting thing, if you think about it, if that fits flat on the V8, and then to use the 6-cylinder, they have that extra little bracket. It shows you that they designed the whole thing around the V8, really. I don't know the history of the 250 and the 350 and when they were all designed, but I guess maybe the 350 was before the 250.
I don't know this. The inline 6-cylinder definitely was first. The 350 didn't come out to 69.
Oh.
So this.
Yeah, but they had a 327.
327 is the same block as the 350.
Yeah.
It's just a different board.
Yeah.
And then they had the 283, and you keep going on.
Yeah.
On.
Huh. It's interesting though. So they designed the motor mounts around the V8, but they also fit the inline 6s. We're taking it to new levels of crazy, people. Donnie, don't get under the damn thing. Oh. Oh, that was off of like a different, where it mounts in the car.
Yep.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
See, the newer mounts, this is a big piece of metal.
Yeah.
With a piece of rubber right in the center.
Yeah, with a pin. Yeah, my truck was like my 86 was like that, 83.
Well, when the motor mount breaks, it just shakes the truck all to hell. It can't come out. It's metal on metal.
Yeah, but on the old ones,
yeah, it's
that
solid
rubber breaks, the whole damn thing will come loose.
Yeah, the whole thing will come loose and go
You think
crazy.
they would have redesigned it as an aftermarket? Well, I bet they have, probably. Uh-oh.
Can't see what you're doing.
Yep.
You can't get it done.
Did you hear that, people? If you can't see what you're doing, you can't get it done. Now, if we do get this thing to fire off, you know it's got open headers on it. Open manifolds on it, I should say.
It'll be a little loud. It won't bother me too much.
All right, getting the motor mounts in.
You know, it took 7 minutes for me to put one in your truck
Uh-huh.
with the fenders on there.
Uh-huh.
I probably just jinxed myself.
Oh, God. Well, we're going to be here all day now. Why would you do that, Donnie? You know I don't like jinxes. I mean, come on, man. Now I'm going to be all mad about it. A minute and a half has passed.
You have to have ram horns. It's hitting the frame.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still 1.5 inches from the mounts.
All right. Have we got a ram horn?
But not here.
All right, so we got to take off this exhaust manifold or it's not going to go in.
This side's the same way, 1.5 inches.
Well, now we know why you had to have ram horns. I always wondered.
Look down in there, you can see how far off you are.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, now we know. All right, we're going to pull the exhaust manifolds. Donnie.
Yes.
Hey, we went to get something to eat. Hey, where are you going to get your ram horn exhaust manifolds that you need?
Right here.
Oh, they're like a foot away from you. Can you touch them? Oh, yeah. We got some right here, people. I mean, if we need ram horn exhaust manifolds, they're right here in front of us. All right, we'll get them off for your truck.
Okay.
Well, we got the manifolds off. What's our next problem, Donnie?
Can't get the motor mounts to line up.
They just won't line up quite right. So we're going to, what's the deal? What's the word for it? We're going to customize them.
Stud them.
We're going to stud them. Basically, they have a hole, and then you have to line it up with another hole and put a bolt through both, and it ain't easy. So we're going to put a stud in the motor mount instead, which is kind of how a lot of the newer ones are, to make it a little easier to line up.
And the motor mount's full of rubber.
Yeah, the motor mount, since it's encased, it has rubber all around where the bolt goes, you can't get a bolt to thread in there very well.
Can they see that?
They can see it.
So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it around to this back side and it's threaded all the way through. I'm going to take this bolt and I'm going to run it through there. And actually, I thought it was 3/8 because there's so much rubber in here.
But it's like ½ inch.
It's 7/16.
7/16.
That's thread pitch we're talking about. But anyway, we're going to take...
You can't really hand thread the 7/16 bolt in because there's so much rubber on the mount. You got to doctor it up a little bit. So we're going to get us our bolt in there as a stud, and then have it mounted on it so that we can line it up with the holes easier.
Okay, y'all, this is what we done. We took and just screwed it a 7/16 bolt all the way through there to make it a stud, tighten it up real good. So when we get it down in here, all we got to do is put our nut on there.
And the stud will help us locate the
Tighten it up.
help us locate the mounting boss, the mounting hole.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing to try to make it a little easier. You need to have these things loose where they'll move.
Now remember, he replaced the front end and replaced those brackets. So these are not in the original position. They're all slightly off and all that. So
I got all these loose where they'll move around. And we got these kind of not really tight. We got this bottom one tight, but these top two are a little loose where we can move them around a little bit to make it a little easier on us here.
and we'll see if we can drop them down into position. We have got the motor mounts mounted.
Woohoo! We got it in there.
Donnie's a motor mountain fool. Now, it took a while. Remember whenever he jinxed us?
Jinxed it bad.
Absolutely jinxed us.
Horrible. Don't do that, people.
But here's where we messed up. This is a mod. You know, a mod takes a little bit more time, Donnie. This is not a standard thing. You didn't have the whole, you know, it wasn't ready to go. And then we also would like to blame one of the motor mounts.
One of the motor mounts, I'm blaming that one, yes, for sure.
We had to go get another motor mount. The motor mount had rubber stuck in the threads, and it had screwed everything all up. So we couldn't actually get a bolt to go in the motor mount. So we had to go get a third motor mount. Anchor brand. And it worked just fine. So there went another $8 we'll never get back.
Yeah, people. So everybody thinks we're spending big money. Right there, that tells you what's going on.
The motor mount was $8. It's a used engine. Come on, people. We're just having a good time. All right? Come on, people.
I'll tell you what I paid for it.
Come on now.
Remember.
Come on now. We're not trying to like spend a bunch. Come on now.
I think that motor and transmission was $250.
If we were going to, people, if we were going to spend a bunch of money, we would. Come on, people. I mean, it's $250. Come on now, for a whole engine. Come on, and the transmission. Okay, so we about got it. Well, it won't be long. We'll be firing her off. The battery goes out here somewhere, I think.
Up high.
Right here. All right, folks. I wired it up. Donnie, the spark plug wires are done. You don't have to mess with it. You can tell by looking at it, it's right. Donnie, why is your engine painted Ford blue? You sure this isn't a 302?
I wasn't involved. Was not involved.
Okay.
But I just seen something we got to fix before we try to do anything with this thing.
You know what he's trying to do, right, people? I mean, you know what he's trying to do, right? Look at him. He's messing with the transmission lines.
I'm trying to keep fluid from blowing out.
Yeah. So he's going to put a little loop on it. And he had me put the spark plug wires on. And while I was doing that, he went and found a battery cable. Kinda. And then he stole my battery cable.
I didn't steal it. I asked for it.
And he put the starter on. I mean, you see where this is going, right?
And look, I picked this up off the floor.
What is it?
It's the actual wire that goes into the distributor.
This is the distributor wire. It's got an electronic ignition, but there's no electronic. So I don't know. There's no key even. I mean, I don't think this can work. There's no key. I think he's starting to slip as he gets older. He doesn't realize you can't start the car without a key. I mean, I have never started a car without a key. All right, we'll keep working on it. We're just humoring him. Okay, folks, he's got it rigged up. Now, it has no exhaust manifold, so it's going to be crazy loud if it starts to try to implode any of the starting fluid.
Okay, y'all, this wire is going to be ignition. So I can pull, if something happens, I can pull it off and it'll kill it. It'll kill it. Okay?
So we've got nothing. The drivetrain, of course, is not hooked up. It's sitting on motor mounts. He's going to spray ether in the carburetor. There's no gas, so all I can do is burn that. And it's got a healthy battery.
This wire is your start wire. This is the one that makes shit happen. This is going to make it rumble. Okay?
This isn't the craziest thing we've done, but it's the craziest thing we've done in a while. Well, no, we picked up that truck last week and put it on the flatbed. Yeah, it's the craziest thing we've done today.
Okay, here we go.
No manifolds, people. It's going to be really loud. It's going to be loud. Oh my God.
We're going to hit it again.
Wait a minute, let me go on this side. They want to see the other side, Donnie. No manifolds, people. Gonna be really loud. It can't move or anything, though. It can't really do anything. All I can do is just sit there. Look, I'm trying to keep it running by spraying. God.
It's a good motor.
Yep. Well, what did we say at the beginning of the video? You said something about you were going to fire it off today. Unbelievable. I thought when we didn't have the manifolds that he would give up. You know, I shouldn't think Donnie's ever going to give up. All right. Well, so $250 for the motor.
And transmission.
A guy took it out of a Cutlass, we think. Something like that. It's a Cutlass, one of those donks.
Yeah, one of those donks.
It was out of a donk. It was one of those cars you get in and it goes.
And you.
It was one of those, and they were taking it out to put a LS1 in it.
So, for $250, I got a water pump, I got a motor, I got a transmission, I got an alternator, I got a power steering pump. I got a distributor and a carburetor for $250. The $250 for all that. The front end assembly I gave $400 for, but I've got stuff up selling it, so I'll get my money back on that. It won't cost me anything for that and the rear end. This truck here that I'm going to use the cab off of, it's not costing anything because I've got parts sold that's going to pay for
Look,
it.
this thing's filthy. Look at this. And they cleaned the windshield off.
No, there ain't no windshield in it. Windshield's gone.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay, go ahead.
That back window's awful clean.
Yeah.
So it's not. Everybody thinks I'm paying stupid prices. I'm not. It's
Basically, he's buying a truck. He's selling parts off of it to cover what he paid for the truck, and then he's keeping all of his little goodies. And we're going to make this one into a nice truck. So
it ain't costing that much. It's going to be just a fun little project to do. I'm going to put power steering on it. That's probably going to be one of the next videos. Mm-hmm. Power steering and the radiator.
So we're trying to get it all kind of doing its thing before we put any of the sheet metal back on, because it's easier to work on it this way. And obviously we got to clean up a bunch of stuff, straighten up a bunch of stuff, but it's got a running engine in it now. It may not run that good, but it sounded pretty good to me.
What I was worried about is knocking. I didn't want to hear no knocking. And it wasn't smoking like a freight train neither. So
yeah.
That's the two main things that you worry
You were
about.
pretty evenly throwing flames out of all 4 cylinders on this side.
Same thing on the other side.
So,
that first one threw some spider webs or cobwebs or something out there at the beginning.
Well, that's good. It's fuel.
But it's good. Good motor.
All right, folks. Well, there you go. So we put the motor in off of the floor, wired it up, and
Fired it up.
fired it off. So that's going to be good. So we got a long way to go, obviously, but Donnie's pretty quick. He's going to run through it. All right, Donnie, tell him what to do.
Thumbs up for filming it. You know.
Come on, people. What the hell? If this ain't worth a thumbs up, what is?
I didn't have to stand over and let flames fly at me.
We
for
didn't
no
have to
reason.
film this.
Thumbs up for filming it. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. You want to see what else I'm going to put on this body.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next one.